Hey guys, how are you? Great to see you again. I'm gonna check my phone, make sure that we are live like we're supposed to be. If you're hopping on, just say hello. Awesome. Looks like we are good. Okay, great. All right. So happy Thursday. Thanks for hopping on with me again today. As you all know already, maybe if you've been in here, all of my live trainings are streamed via StreamYard, which means you have to give StreamYard permission for me to see your name when you make comments below. Okay. So if you will do that, that would be great. If you're joining me, if you'll just say hello, tell me how the weather is where you are, or actually, I want to know where you're joining me from. So tell me what state you're joining me from today. I would love to know that. And if you're catching the replay, if you'll hashtag replay, and also tell me what state you're from so that I will know. I would love to kind of keep track of that, get to know you guys a little better. And for those of you who have not been in the group before and joined one of my trainings, my name is Stephanie Manley, and I am a proactive bookkeeper and profit strategist. So what that means is I help you with all things finance within your business so that you know the numbers for you to be able to make calculated business decisions. All right, so I'm going to jump in really quick. Today's live is all about your finance routine. And guys, it does not have to be complicated at all. Some people make it to be like 20 steps, but I'm going to break it down into the 5 must-have monthly habits when it comes to your business finances. All right. And you can do these too with your personal finances. I happen to use these same steps within my business, and I also use them within my personal finances as well. All right, so jumping in again, if you're joining me, if you'll say hello and what state you are from, that would be great. All right, number 1 must have financial habit in your business every month is you need to track and categorize your expenses. Guys, you know, I tell you this all the time, right? It's like basic 101, business 101, track and categorize your income and expenses. It's so important because it tells you what's going on in your business. Your numbers tell the story. And without tracking, you don't know the story. And if you don't know the story, you can't change the ending, right? You can't make any adjustments. So if you're tracking your income and expenses and you see, oh crap, like I'm going to be broke in 2 months. Well, it's time to make some adjustments now so that it won't happen. But if you're not tracking in your income and expenses on a monthly basis, you'll never know. You'll hit that brick wall 90 miles an hour and it'll come out of nowhere, right? So be proactive. Track your income and expenses now. Do it every month. Don't wait until the end of the year, like so many did in 2021, to do your business finances because then it's too late. You can't make any changes. All right. So just be proactive about it. Track your income and your expenses every single month. Categorize them what they are, right? Are they advertising? Are they payroll? Are you paying freelancers or contractors? Are you paying rent, utilities? All these things need to be tracked and categorized every month. Now, there's a couple of tips I'm going to give you on this. And the first one is make sure your business and your income, your personal and your business income and expenses are separated. So you should have a separate bank account for your business. That's just, again, business 101, right? You should also be putting this in some type of software, whether it be QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, or some type of spreadsheet, such as my calculated tax planner. But there should be some way of doing this. The old-fashioned way of doing it on a ledger, that's gone, right? You need to be doing it in some type of program. All right. Number 2, must-have habit is you need to review those numbers. So the first step in the process is to track it and categorize it, okay? Get it all to pen and paper per se, and then I want you to review it. A lot of times we stop at just tracking. We check the box. I've tracked my income. I've tracked my expenses. I'm done. Okay. But that's just part of the process, right? You've written the story because you've got it all outlined, but now you have to read the story. So reading the story is like reviewing your numbers. Okay. You're reviewing those income numbers. You're reviewing the totals. You're reviewing to see, are there any subscriptions I've been paying for that I'm not using? Am I spending too much in one thing and there's not a return on my investment? Okay, that's super, super important. Watch those payroll costs. Watch those freelancer costs. Watch your advertising costs. Okay, I had a client not too long ago that came to me and they were spending thousands of dollars in Facebook ads, thousands a month in Facebook ads. And when I asked this client, well, what is your return on this? She looked at me like a deer in headlights because she had no clue. So in her eyes, she just needed to be doing Facebook ads. Like that's what her business coach told her to do. She needed to put money into Facebook ads. But she never tracked, was she getting any return on those thousands and thousands of dollars every month? And come to find out she didn't. She was spending thousands and thousands, and she may have gotten like $100, $200 in revenue. Okay, so that was not the best use of her money. But she never would have known that had she not read the story, meaning reading her, or excuse me, reviewing her numbers. So once her numbers were reviewed, then we could make steps to change that, saving her thousands and thousands of dollars per month. So that's what I want you to do. Read the story, write the story, track your income and expenses, and then read it. Review your numbers. Okay. Also, as you're reviewing those numbers, you'll know what your profit is. And Uncle Sam wants his share. So I want you to save or set aside money for taxes every single month. Okay. It's easier for you to set it aside in the beginning than it is for you to kind of recoup and figure out how much it is at the end of the year and try to start pulling and borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, right? We don't want to do that. That's not how we run a business. So I want you to save for taxes every single month. Look at that profit line. And I want you to put away 30%. Just a good number, okay? And 30% is on the high side. I tell people that all the time. I always aim high. So if you put away too much and then you go to file your taxes and you don't owe as much, well, there's a good bonus for you, right? Because you've set it aside or you just leave it in savings. Okay, so I need you to save for taxes. Set that money aside every single month based on your profit, not based on gross, based on profit. So your income minus all of your expenses gives you your profit. And I want you to set aside 30% of that number for taxes. Now, I recommend that you open up another bank account, whether it be a business savings or another business checking at the same bank as your original bank account, and go ahead and transfer that money into that account. Out of sight, out of mind, right? That's what I want you to do every single month. So I'm going to review really quick the first three in case you're just hopping on. The first thing I want you to do, money habit, is I want you to track and categorize your income and expenses every single month. And then I want you to review those numbers. You wrote the story, now you're going to read the story. And then as you're reviewing those numbers, you'll know what your profit margin is. And then you can save 30% for taxes. Okay. Any questions, pop them in the comments. I'm going to check to see if I have any here. Okay. Nope. We're looking good so far. All right. Number 4 habit. I want you to proactively reduce your debt. Now, if you don't have any debt in your business, you can just skip this step, okay? But some of you do. Maybe you've bought vehicles, maybe you have credit card debt, those types of things in your business. I want you to proactively reduce your debt. What I mean by that is I want you to keep track of your debt. You should know how much interest you're being charged every month. You should know how much you're adding to that credit card debt each month. Keep up with that. And then I want you to pay more than the minimum. Okay. Now, I'm a huge fan of paying what you charged last month, like pay the whole thing off because it saves you interest. But I also know sometimes it's okay to carry debt in your business. It's okay. I'm not going to be one to tell you that nobody should have debt within your business because there's some big products that you may need to purchase. You need to put it on a credit card or you need to finance that vehicle. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to be the person to tell you that. But I want you to pay attention to that debt and proactively reduce that number. So we should be working towards reducing our debt, not increasing our debt unless we're purchasing something, right? We shouldn't just be putting every little thing on a credit card and then it just compounding and compounding because then your cash flow is going to be in a mess, right? All right, so proactively reduce your debt. And guys, like I said in the beginning, you can do this on the personal level too. So for your personal credit cards, you should be paying more than the minimum payment. You should be trying to reduce that debt every single month. All right. And then number 5 is going to be to pay yourself. This is a biggie that is very controversial sometimes. So what do I mean by paying yourself? If you are a sole proprietor, meaning you are your name doing business as whatever your business name is, or you're an LLC and you're the only member of your LLC, so you're a sole member, then you still need to pay yourself. You're just not on salary, you're not on payroll, but you have to pay yourself out of the business. Too often, entrepreneurs just get caught up in the everyday, trying to get their business off the ground, and they keep reinvesting back in their business. So maybe their business is profitable, but every month they find something new for the business that they need to purchase. Right? I've been there, I know. And they never pay themselves. Well, what happens is they hit burnout. And I did a live on this a few weeks ago, actually, maybe it's been a month ago now, about how to fall back in love with your business. So go back and check that if you are hitting burnout. But one thing, again, is it's all about money mindset. So if you're working, but you don't see a return, meaning you're not getting paid out of that business so that you can do something fun with the money, right? You need a break, then eventually you're going to start not liking your business very much. Okay. Imagine going into a 9 to 5 and you're working for someone and you work and you work and you work and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into a business and they don't pay you. Well, think about how you would think, or how you would feel if that were the case. Well, the same thing can happen when you are self-employed. You work and you work and you work and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. And at the end of the day, you don't get paid, right? We've all been there, especially in startup. It happens a lot more frequently. But I want you to start paying yourself every single month. Set a goal. And if you know your numbers because you've been tracking them and you've been reviewing them, you know on average what your profit is every month, right? And you've set aside that 30% for taxes. Maybe you've set aside another percentage because you're trying to save up for a big item in the future for your business. And the rest is profit. The rest is your paycheck. Okay? Some months there may be more than others, and that's okay. But you need to get an average. So if your average is you're making, I don't know, $12,000 a year in profit, well, your paycheck every month should be $1,000 that you should bring out of your business. But you don't know how much you can pay yourself if you're not tracking your expenses and reviewing your numbers and looking at projections. See how it all kind of just ties together. So in the beginning, if you're in startup, I want you to pay yourself every single month. I don't care if it's $10, but I want you to get into the habit, get into the mindset of paying yourself. Okay. Super, super, super important. All right. Now, if you're an S corporation, and I know some of you listening are an S corporation, you should already be on payroll. That's a requirement of an S corp, that you are paid a reasonable salary for what you are doing. So just think of yourself, if you were an employee, if you hired someone to do the work that you're doing, what would you pay them? What would it require for you to onboard someone who's doing what you're doing? Okay. And be realistic. I know we all go, well, I work 50 hours a week. My pay should be 300 grand, right? I mean, be realistic on exactly what you're actually contributing, how much it would be hourly to pay the person if you had someone step into your shoes. And that is what your salary is supposed to be according to IRS regulations. And that needs to be set up. You can do that on biweekly, weekly, monthly, however you want to do it for an S corporation. And if you have any questions on that, send me a DM, send me an email, and I will be glad to help you with that as well. Okay, so I'm going to start back from the very, very beginning. I'm checking my notes here. So your finance routine does not have to be complicated. There's 5 must-haves. Number 1, track and categorize your income and expenses every single month. Remember, these are monthly habits. Review your numbers. Check those subscriptions. Check to see if you're spending too much in one category where you should not be. Okay. Do you have a return on investment for things that you're spending? Save for Uncle Sam. So save for taxes. Put that money aside in a separate bank account, right? Get it out of your regular bank account so you don't even see it. And then I want you to proactively reduce your debt. Okay? You should be reducing, not increasing your debt every month. And then I want you to pay yourself. So at least a little bit, figure out what it should be over the course of a year and then divide it up. Okay? Any questions? I'm checking my comments. Give everybody a couple of minutes. Hope your day's going good, guys. Awesome. All right. So there we go. All right. So guys, if you haven't already, you went all the way through the video with me and you haven't already, please say hello in the comments and tell me where you're from so I can connect with you guys after the video. I'll be back next Thursday with another training. So again, every Thursday inside the Calculated Profit Pursuit Facebook group and on YouTube. So if you haven't been to YouTube, shoot on over there and hit subscribe and like so that you know every time that I go live as well. And again, thank you for joining me. I hope that you learned something today and that you will go ahead and get these 5 monthly habits underway. It's January. It's almost the end of January, but we're still in the first month of 2022. So let's go ahead and adopt these habits now so that we can have the best financial year within our business. Like we have control. We know what's happening, right? If you're ready to outsource your bookkeeping, send me a direct message. I'm going to put a link also in the comments below for you to book a call with me. You can go to my website, calculatorprofits.com, and you can book a consult there as well. Let's talk about it. Let's see what you need so that 2022, you're on track. You know what's happening in your business. You're making money. You're very profitable. And we can change your story. It's January, right? So let's go ahead and start writing that story now. Let's read that story together every single month and let's make changes so that it has a happy ending. Okay? All right, guys. I will see you again next week and see you then. Bye, guys.